Drive-Thru Workers of Reddit. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone's car? When I was working at McDonald's, one time a woman pulled up with 3 monkeys and ordered them each an ice cream cone. I still think about that from time to time. I once complimented a woman on her purse that was in the exact shape of a chicken. It was made of colored rubber, really unique item. She proceeds to tell me to hold on, gets out of the car and grabs an identical chicken purse and gives it to me, saying that she has been waiting for the right person to give this to. It was used and quite old. Edit. Picture of the now famous chicken purse. I once saw a woman roll up to the window, and she must have been a dominatrix, as she had a man in the back in a leather outfit and a rubber pig mask. I can only imagine that was his kink to get embarrassed at a KFC drive-thru. Not me, but a friend had a customer who had a dildo in the passenger seat, which is plenty strange enough, but it was buckled in. The driver of the car did not wear a seatbelt, but the dildo did. Great. Now one of my top comments are about a drive-thru dildo. Worked at McDonald's, especially in drive-thru. Saw a hoarder who could only go to our McDonald's because we didn't have a sharp turn into our parking lot. Her car was too filled she couldn't use her steering wheel. Had someone with a pet pig and duck. Gave them free ice cream. Some dude was getting head. He was the driver. Couple sitting in the back seat were also doing sexual things. I was the driver in this case, but I worked at a grocery store, and our order of bananas hadn't come in. I was asked to go to another store in our chain and pick up extra bananas they had in stock. Decided to grab some food on the way back, with my car packed to the brim with bananas. The cashier seemed relatively unfazed, and just said, "Huh, that's a lot of bananas." Chick-fil-A. Fully naked, except a hat and sandals, middle-aged long-haired guy pulls through in a Jeep with all the doors and top taken off. We still served him. No one was comfortable looking at him except for me. I was the window person. I didn't make an expression and acted like it was nothing to me, and his goofy smile faded pretty quick after the less than enthusiastic, "My pleasure." Everyone thought I was God. Me 1, pervert 0. A giant, industrial-sized trash bag full of nachos. It pretty much took up the entire back seat. When I asked the guy where he was going to get enough salsa for those chips, he genuinely seemed disappointed because he hadn't thought of that. Apparently the Mexican restaurant next door was throwing them out, and the guy asked if he could have them because he was stoned, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. Working night shift at Burger King, had a group of girls flash me for free food. Seemed like a fair trade at the time. Used to work at the drive-thru of Starbucks for some extra money about a year ago. I once had a couple drive up and the girl had a bunch of bags on her and in front of her feet. From what I could tell, they were adult toys. It was like 10 bags, but I just averted my eyes and handed them their drinks. Needless to say, the guy was pretty embarrassed because he could tell I was uncomfortable. Not really a weird thing, but a rather funny occurrence. I was taking someone's money and they were on Tinder, and oh hey, it was my profile they were looking at, though I don't think they realized it cause they never once looked my direction. And of course they swiped left. That's okay. Their car was a mess inside. That's a pretty big tell, I feel. A lady in labor, in the driver's seat by herself, ordering food. She was literally having contractions and doing the weird breathing thing that women are supposed to do to help with the pain. She said she was on the way to the hospital, but she wanted to get a burger, fries, and a soda before she went. There wasn't even anyone with her. That lady drove herself to the hospital while having contractions and chowing down on a goddamn burger. Working drive-thru at Starbucks. Some guy pulled through with car filled with boxes. He said they were filled with flashlights and offered me some. I completely forgot about it till I got off work. When I got out to my car, there were 5 boxes each filled with 20 brand new Duracell flashlights still in the packaging. Had to be worth at least $500. And he had many more boxes. A woman came through with no passenger side seat. It had been pulled out, and in its place hung a giant metal ring with an enormous cockatoo sitting on it. Thing was going mental when she pulled up. Back when I worked drive-thru at a McDonald's, I had a guy who ordered, 5 minutes to order breakfast burrito and a drink, so I was pretty fed up already when he got to the window. When this car pulled up, I was really not expecting to see a chick wearing nothing but a bra and panties in the back seat snorting cocaine off of an iPhone. I was staring at her while I took the guy's cash, and she glanced up and noticed me and ducked down a little bit. "Babe, you're in a pretty short car. If I can see the floor from here, I can definitely see you." Guy just drove off to the next window like nothing happened. Also served a lady on a horse one time and was subsequently told they had to be in a motor vehicle to come through the drive-thru, but that wasn't as strange since there are horses in our area. A lizard chilling on someone's dashboard being fed veggies. A cat was also in the same car. My mother used to work the drive-thru at Burger King when she was a teenager. She told me that a man used to come through some nights completely naked except for black see-through stockings. When I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, this guy came through the drive-thru with a huge falcon in his passenger seat. Former Taco Bell worker. One time a guy ordered with a parrot on his shoulder. I didn't say anything about it. He didn't say anything about it. I still wonder if that's just how he drove around town. Working at Hardee's, we had a bunch of drunks in a Target shopping cart being pushed by another drunk person come up to the drive-thru speaker to order dinner. We couldn't serve them because they weren't in a motor vehicle. I say motor vehicle because we had someone come up to the drive-thru window on a motorized bicycle or hot rod bicycle, and we served them. A bunch of nuns getting ice cream. It was cute. Worst was probably a drunk lady talking to her dog and to herself, like screaming at her dog. Went around the building a few times until the cops came. Edit. Might as well post the story from a previous comment in another Ask Reddit thread about cops arresting people. Not a cop, but at my last job where I was a manager, I did get a drunk lady arrested when she came through my drive-thru twice. We used to have a second drive-thru lane until a drunk driver smashed it, and one of my crew noticed a car was just chilling there. A few minutes later, one of my crew grabs me and says this lady is at the window and not talking to them. Headed to the drive-thru window to see this lady yelling at someone, and I tried to get her attention. She just mumbles and grabs a bottle out of one of those liquor store bags and puts it on her seat. Then she drives away before I can get her plate number. 2 hours later, I'm on the phone with another manager, and my crew grabs me saying the lady is back. This time she's actually talking, mumbling about an order that didn't match anything on the screen. So I told her to park where we have people wait if they have a large order, and she just nods and heads there without paying. Until then, I wasn't entirely sure if she was drunk or mentally ill, so I called the cops. Just as a cruiser pulled in, she drove out of the spot and around to the drive-thru again. So I point her car out to him, and he pulls her over at the drive-thru window, and she stumbles out. Turns out the person I thought she was yelling at earlier was her little dog, this cute little pug. Wound up having 2 cop cars, a tow truck, and animal control to take care of this lady. I felt so bad for the poor little dog. Edit. One of the cops asked if we had anything for the dog, and she wound up feeding him French fries. Not really healthy for the dog. The animal control guy wasn't too happy apparently, but it was super cute. Subscribe to my channel for more videos and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Tell me in comments, what's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone's car? Or some weird stories as a client. I would love to read it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to watch my other videos. Bye.